Get my lumbar support here. Ergonomics, you know? All right. Milk? There you go. All right, guys. We had about 3 appointments in a week. We had the dermatologist on Friday at the Children's Hospital, so that's an hour drive. And on Tuesday, we had to go back to the Children's Hospital for his ophthalmology appointment. And the next day, Wednesday, we had a local cardiologist appointment. So doing big things. That used to kind of be the normal for us with lots of appointments, but then come summer, we slowed down and didn't have any appointments besides his pediatrician 1 year. So it's starting to get back into the swing of things. However, every time we went into appointments, we always thought something bad was gonna happen just because we kind of learned that the past year, that's what happened. And I had good feelings about these going into them, but it's always lingering in the back of my mind. And I went to the Children's Hospital just driving back in the town after not being there for a while. I think if you want to call it PTSD, I think I was kind of having a little anxiety. Right away, driving down the first street, I was like, I want a chocolate milkshake. That's the mindset I had because that's what I felt like every time we left there. Anyway, Jensen just had the biggest personality in all these appointments. I mean, I just can't get over how much he's a mover, a swarmer, a shaker, talking, and just so much fun. However, I am getting a workout. I had to do like bicep curls with him just to like keep him entertained. That's mommy's nose. We smell with our nose. Our dermatologist appointment, Jensen has this large birthmark. It's not big enough to be concerning. There is one spot within it that they call a chocolate chip, so we're gonna keep an eye on that in 3 months, but overall not concerned whatsoever. Ophthalmology, nothing new. His eye pressure seems about the same, which is on the lower end of the spectrum. He does squint at light, so let's take a moment to pause here because months ago, I think I was more so protecting myself when one of the doctors at his pediatrician ophthalmology was saying that, oh, I really think he's reacting to light. And I'm like, no, I know my child does not react anymore. And that's because when he was a newborn, he did squint at light a little bit and then it went away. And I don't know if that was the hemorrhage in his eyes that was really making it cloudy. What are you doing? We never do this. I'm just gonna grab my neck fat, it's fine. I think I was just protecting myself. I just don't wanna be hopeful. And months down the road, come the summer, it seemed like any direct sunlight, Jensen would wince and sneeze. And I'm like, wow, definitely eating my words. I guess I should leave it to the experts. They definitely know what they're doing. But again, I think I was just trying to protect myself. And even though he does, even though he does wince and sneeze at direct sunlight, I still don't have any hope. Like, there's nothing gonna come from that. They kind of confirmed that at our last ophthalmology appointment, saying that yes, he does react to a little bit of light. It's not gonna be very beneficial for him other than it helps him stick with a sleeping schedule. And I took that as he's not gonna be able to see, oh my God, he's not gonna be able to see shapes or shadows with the light perception. This is why my hair is never down. I am very happy and blessed that he does have a little bit of light perception, and I told myself I was gonna look into this more because I know via from the doctors and just what I've briefly read, when our bodies take in light, it releases the melatonin in our brain, which is how we have this sleep cycle of night and day. But when kiddo has no light perception whatsoever, that can be messed up and they can have their own cycles of sleep, but it might not match up with day and night. For example, a wonderful mother in Jamaica and her son and Jensen are the same age, exactly the same birthdays, and it sounds like he struggles with sleep. He's wide awake during the night and sleeps during the day. I wonder how they go about that. I know giving people melatonin is one way to fix that, but I wasn't sure if that's something they could do in someone so young. So I asked our ophthalmologist and he said, yes, they can do that. Sounds like they would give a certain dose of melatonin to the kiddo at the time that they would like them to go to sleep, and then it's a bit of sleep training with that. So giving them the melatonin at a certain time every night and hopefully getting their body used to a sleep cycle and then eventually weaning them off that melatonin. I don't know if anyone has heard anything differently or if you've experienced anything different. Let me know. I'm really hoping that we never have to go through that. I hope that Jensen really just has his tiny bit of light perception that allows him to get his normal sleep, because we are so blessed that he sleeps. Oh my gosh, I shouldn't admit this out loud. I'm gonna jinx myself. He sleeps through the night. Except for the past 2 days, he has been kicking on the walls at like midnight, 2 a.m. I don't know why we feel like that's a great time to play, but he's not upset, he's not crying. Josh turned to me, he's like, isn't it nice going to sleep to the sound of thunder? That's basically what it is. He's our little sound machine. No news is good news with all of our appointments. Cardiology, his heart murmur does not seem like it's there, or if it is, it's not concerning. He's gonna go back at age 3 to get an echo done. Oh, yeah. You're silly. Oh, you're gonna eat my watch? You gonna text people again? Woo! Okay, I can't. Let's go. All right, for the sole purpose of trying to get through this, because he's just hanging out in his crib right now and we have therapy in about 10 minutes, treating myself some coffee after all these appointments because, you know, life is so hard for me. No. God is good. It's very intimidating to make YouTube videos because I know there are people that are specialized in physical therapy, occupational therapy, vision teachers, ophthalmologists, cardiologists, and I am none of those things. So I can only hope that I am relaying all of our information properly. It is what it is. Gotta wrap this up. 2 more things. I recently came across a mom whose son has Norrie disease, and she made a post about things not to say to a parent of a disabled child. And I will say I yo-yoed back and forth on, you know, I don't like when people say see. I think I've gotten past that initial grieving process. Yes, they can see in their own way. Don't be afraid to use the word see around me. It's just been a learning process for me as well. In her post, it talked about how it's almost worse if you tiptoe around the subject, if you don't ask any questions whatsoever related to their illness. So for example, big shout out to my girl Cassidy at her first birthday party. A couple of the parents there asked me specific questions about Jensen. They didn't tiptoe around it, and I honestly can't express how much that means to me. I much rather talk about it than not. It just means a lot when people take an interest and actually want to ask the questions, and it might be uncomfortable and you might not know what to say. I mean, I know if I was in someone else's position and they were talking to me about their kid and their disabilities, if I didn't have that experience, then I wouldn't know what to say either. And there's no wrong answer for the most part, but ask questions, ask how can I help, or what can I learn, or you don't even have to help or learn, just asking is enough, and taking interest in someone's child. That's it. From what I've heard, people would rather have you ask than tiptoe around or stare from afar. So thank you to those people at the birthday party. You know who you are. I appreciate it. Lastly, okay, I have been meaning to talk about this. Look up Remember the Girls. It's a site that's devoted to looking into female carriers of X-linked diseases. Typically, X-linked conditions do not affect the female, and or they don't possess the more severe form of things. However, I specifically remember thinking when Jensen was 3 or 4 months old, I wonder if I possess some of the conditions, like maybe my poor circulation, or sometimes I get this ringing in my ears. Is that due to my abnormal X chromosome? I don't know. It just crossed my mind. And then right away after that, I'm like, there's no way for me to look into. He's not allowed on the couch. I invited him up there with me this morning, and this is what we get now. It's fine. Right after I thought these things, I'm like, no, I'm not even gonna look into this because Norrie disease is already rare enough. There's not a lot of information on it as is. Why would they ever look into the carriers of it? I was fortunate enough to have someone reach out to me about Remember the Girls and asking if I wanted to feature Norrie disease. We decided to pick November for Norrie disease. There will be podcasts and potentially genetic doctors that will talk about it. And I'm basically just looking for about 3 people that are carriers for Norrie disease that might be interested in sharing their story or their thoughts on it. Basically just advocating for the women carriers, what it means to them, and if they're curious about their own bodies and if they possess any of the qualities of the traits that they carry. If you are a carrier for Norrie disease, please let me know if you want to advocate yourself and for all the other carriers out there. I would love to hear from you. Again, this is gonna be in November, so I need to start kind of getting on the ball here and getting going. As always, guys, thanks for listening to me ramble. Very uneventful vlog this week, but just great. No news is good news. That is what I've always told my patients, and now I get to be on the other end of it, and I love it. It's great. Please continue to hit the subscribe button. Check out the TikToks. I absolutely love all the new comments that I'm getting on YouTube. I love hearing from everyone around the world. It just makes my heart so happy. So please continue to just, encourage us, support us, love us, write about your own stories, or ask questions on things you want to know, learn, all that stuff. I'm not going to say I have the answers, but I'll definitely try to help out any way I can. That is why we are here. All right, guys, healthy, happy vibes to you all. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.